Hey, some of you are supposed to be starting a business right now, or at least getting prepared for it. Are you doing that, or are you just coasting? Watch this video and wait to the end to learn a little bit more about how you can prepare. Hey, this is Larry. Just got back from Fiji, and today I'm talking about business. Some of you are called to start a great business. Others of you are going to be investors. What is your dream? What does God talk to you about how you should hold this money from the wealth transfer? You know, in Fiji, we saw that there's a huge need for people just to have jobs. And I think that's going to be an ongoing thing. I have had a lot of employees, and I prayed, God, how can I have wealth without having so many employees? But now I'm seeing that, I don't think I missed it, but that's kind of selfish. There's people who need to provide great, high-paying jobs and just sometimes, starting jobs. And so I know that kingdom entrepreneurs need to have a dream. And some of you are going to be investors, and you're going to let other people do the work. And some of you are going to start new businesses. And so today I want to introduce you to Ray Vandervalk and his wife, Melissa, who are big dreamers in our area. And I really believe that you need to dream. I've dreamed for years before I got to be a self-storage owner. I held that dream for 15 years. And you need to begin to dream about it. Some of you go, well, I can't dream. I don't have the money yet. No, you need to begin to dream now. I've built over 100, actually I've built over 200 structures, and they've all been built 3 or 4 times. They're built the first time in my head, the second time on a napkin, the third time I take it to an architect and he draws it out for me. Sometimes in the old days, I've been able to legally submit plans and build them. And then finally, they are built. The plans are executed. And with your wealth journey, you need to begin to feel free to dream. I think it's a lie of the devil to not begin to dream now. And you need to dream in different ways. And you need to begin to ask God, do you have a business for me? Do you only have the 8 wells of blessing? I don't believe that only the 8 wells of blessing are all that you're called to. Many people are going to be blessed with starting great businesses. And then if you're older, you may just be called to be an investor, but then you need to free up yourself so that you can be intercessors or mentors. I don't know what you're called to do, but I want to introduce you to one of my good friends who's an amazing entrepreneur, Ray, and he had a dream of starting Red Leaf Coffee. He and his wife were born in Canada, have moved to America, and he's really done amazing here. He was raised on Vancouver Island as a child of a missionary, and he's a good man, and he's a good friend. So let's take a look at what he can show you about running a business.
My name is Ray Vandervalk, owner of Red Leaf Coffee here in Cowlitz County. There it is, of the first store. I don't know if you can get that. That's me standing in front of the first coffee shop that we bought December of 2007. And we did $63 in sales our first day, and we thought we were going to die.
I had a near-death business experience as well my first years.
This is one of our distribution warehouses where cups and sauces, powders, smoothies, and syrups go out to our company-owned stores and also to our franchises. Obstacles are, as always, finding capital and finding the right people. We are right around 110 employees. The first book that got me down the personal growth trail was called The Success System That Never Fails by W. Clement Stone. And I think that book was written in the early 60s. And so I read that book, and that has kept me reading more books and more books. So I'm starting new books constantly. The book I'm reading right now is called 9-Figure Mindset. And that is written by one of my mentors who's teaching me how to raise capital, how to find the right people, how to grow and scale a business, and how to do it right.
And I know you're a voracious reader, and you also are a voracious gatherer of mentors.
This over here is some of the rest of the roaster that we bought. These are pallets of cups that you see here, cups and lids. Most of our cups and lids are stored off-site because we don't have the room for it. We did just lease another building just down the road that's almost 12,000 square feet, so we'll bring some of our cup storage in-house. These are our syrups. We just had the rep from France come in because we are one of their biggest distributors here in North America. All of their water comes from the Swiss Alps, and we think their syrups are by far the best from different ones we've used over the years.
You guys are organic. You really don't have a sugary base. What's your brand? What's your name mean?
Our coffee is organic. We try to do organic products where we can. It's not always possible,
right.
But what we do is make sure we're always dye-free, because dye can be very harmful to the body. And we also make sure we have no high fructose corn syrup in anything that we serve. Here's our energy drink. In here is our walk-in cooler where we keep our almond milk, orange juice, whipped cream.
What has helped you more, your vicarious mentors reading or your personal mentors that you come alongside?
I would say that's a hard question to answer because I learn a lot from people I've never met. People like John Maxwell, I've been in the same room as him, but I've never actually met him, and I've learned a lot from him on leadership. Andy Andrews, if you look him up on YouTube, he has about a 10-minute talk on there called The Butterfly Effect, about how everything that we do matters. I would suggest going to check that out. Darren Hardy, who used to be the publisher of Success Magazine, is a personal mentor of mine.
He's a personal friend.
And he's a personal friend of mine as well. I have got to be mentored by Grant Cardone and got to hang out with him a few times and hear his outlook on life. And Brandon Dawson as well. I have got to be in the same room as him and have him coach me on different occasions. So those are just some of my personal mentors.
Are you a dreamer?
I would say I'm a dreamer. So I was in church, I think it was 2008, and there was somebody who came from Bethel in Redding, California, named Chris Valentin.
Yeah.
And he talked about how Proverbs says to leave an inheritance for your grandchildren's children. The way I was raised was we were just hanging on until Jesus returned. And we didn't think too much about the talents that he's given us and the talents that we often bury every day. And so when I thought about leaving a legacy for my grandkids and for my grandkids' kids, I knew that if I was going to keep doing what I had been doing up to that point, that there wouldn't be much legacy for me to leave. And so that's when I changed my mindset to say, I'm going to build something that even my grandchildren's children will be able to benefit from. So this is our roastery here.
I remember when you bought this building and it was a stretch for you to grab this, and then now you've so far outgrown it.
That's right. So this is our coffee roasting machine. You saw the bigger one over at the other warehouse. Over here on these pallets are green beans that come from all over the world. They come from places like Ethiopia, places like Brazil, Sumatra. So we import these beans from all over. Again, this is an order of coffee that's going down to the Elene Hotel. And then all these barrels here this is where, after it's roasted, the different blends, they get put into these barrels. Hey, John.
I'm trying to find a good place
There's
to
my
like this.
This is
There's my neighbor,
Hey,
my neighbor
thanks,
John.
Trouble.
How you doing? What advice do you have for other people just starting out with a new business or a new enterprise?
read the right books. Read as much as you can. The book that helped me the most, I would say, starting out, is called The E-Myth, and it talks about what it's like to start a business. And the second piece of advice I would give would be to obsess over your business. If you think you're going to open a business on 40 hours a week, you're probably mistaken. And if you're not obsessing over every little detail and thinking business, especially in the first couple of years, every single day, it's going to be much tougher to make it.
You and your wife, Melissa, what's the difference between you two? And you guys really kind of work in different ways to make this thing go.
We do, and I like to say that 1 + 1 with us doesn't equal 2, it equals 11. She has a very specific skill set around training, around developing menus, and I have a great skill set around banking, accounting, and real estate.
So I'm driving around here to take some pictures of Ray's different coffee shops around town, but I'm not driving around for him, I'm driving around for you. What are you supposed to be preparing for? What dreams has God given you that you are called? I think many of you are called to start a business and you've thought, well, this isn't the right time. This is a horrible time. You know, it is a challenging time, and I'm not saying it's quite yet the time to start, but did you hear what year Ray started? He started in 2007, right before the big crash in 2008. He lost another business in 2008 just like I did. We both had a horrible recovery from that, yet his wife started this little side business. Remember what we talked about? How can you fail early and fail often? It wasn't going to kill him, but it did stretch him when he only brought in $60 for his wife working all day. And so Melissa really started the business, and then Ray has helped it grow, and together they're a great team. But who are you going to partner with? Some of you are going, well, I don't have a partner. I'm single. I can't do this. No, I don't believe that. Guess who was single when God called him? Moses. He wasn't married when he was called of God, and yet he started out on his own, and he ended up killing an Egyptian, and he had the whole Pharaoh of the known world after him. That's how he started his ministry time off. You don't have it that bad. But God brought a mate to him during the time of his preparation. And this is a time of preparation. It's time to begin to be a leader. Did you hear how Ray is such a voracious reader? Are you noticing a pattern here? Mentors, reading, future leaders are currently readers. And what books are you reading? And if you aren't, which ones are you going to begin to read? And, you know, we drink from different fountains, but I think God is with him, and I think God has inspired him, and he's called to have over 110 employees. 100 of them are millennials. I wouldn't really want that, but I respect he and Melissa. They battle it out, and some of you are going to begin to battle, and it's time to get going. And so I just want to encourage you as I show you these different film drive-bys of what God has used him to do. What is God going to use you to do? That's a great question. Have a great day. Be challenged. Begin to prepare. Begin to read. Prepare to lead. Bye.